Welcome to the Giants Prospect Profile, a mini-series we do within the Giants franchise where we go over top prospects throughout the organization, from AA Richmond up to AAA Sacramento. So next up on our list of prospects to go over is Joe Gray Jr., a 21-year-old outfield prospect who bats and throws right-handed. In-game, he's actually listed as 6'3", 195, but I looked it up, and on Baseball Reference and MLB.com, he is listed as 6'1", so I will be changing that. He was drafted in the second round by the Milwaukee Brewers in the 2018 draft out of Hattiesburg High School in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. He was actually the first player from that high school program to be drafted since 2007. And Gray Jr. was committed to play baseball at the University of Mississippi, but he obviously decided to sign with the Milwaukee Brewers straight out of high school instead. As far as Joe Gray's ratings go, he is currently a 68 overall B potential player, and from all the scouting reports that I've read, his two main tools are his power and his arm. His arm was among the best in high school players in 2018 at the Perfect Game National Showcase. He was actually clocked in at 98 miles an hour from the outfield, though his accuracy sometimes does suffer a bit. And that is definitely represented well in the game. He has a strong throwing arm, not the greatest accuracy. The power, though, not so much represented that well in-game. When I traded for him, he was one of those guys who was pretty much straight across the board, like the same rating for contact, power, vision, and discipline. And over the past 2 seasons in the minor leagues, he has developed his contact to be slightly higher than his power, but not by like a huge margin. It is a very slight margin. And they're both still on pace to be quite good stats, as he has a 54 contact versus righties, 56 against lefties, and then his power is 49 against righties and 54 against lefties. And then even his plate skills have managed to keep up at that pace, as he has a 51 vision and a 53 discipline, which is always good to see. You don't want to have guys who have good contact or power, and then they just don't have vision or discipline, because it doesn't matter how good their contact or power is, they're not going to be that great of hitters at the major league level if those are low. Especially if the discipline is low, because you can have good discipline, low vision guys, but there are very rarely low vision and discipline guys that are any good. He's also got pretty decent speed. It's currently sitting at 73 right now, so he could play center field if we really wanted him to, because he's got the speed, he's got decent fielding and decent reaction, he has a good arm. I have him listed as a right fielder currently, simply because I didn't think he was going to slot out long-term to be a center fielder. But as far as his future goes, obviously we have Elliot Ramos slotted to be like the long-term right fielder, but I have no issue playing one in center and the other in right field in order to get them both in the lineup long-term a couple years down the road. Obviously, right now, we have Aaron Altair in center field and Jock Peterson, who is going to be with us this year and next year. But Jock Peterson only plays against righties. I'm not sure what Aaron Altair long-term is going to be for us. Obviously, right now, he's tearing things up to start the season off, but you don't know how long that's going to keep up. He could have a poor second half. I could decide not to bring him back next season. But there is Robbie Grossman, who is a guy who is probably not going to be on the roster next season, and Ramos and probably Gray would come up to take his place as like a fourth outfielder. I still do think that Gray Jr. needs at least another full season in the minor leagues before he's called up. He is only 21 years old right now, obviously, so he's only going to be 22 next season, still a very young prospect. But he is going to get every opportunity to be on that Major League roster next season in 2022 right from the get-go. And with that being said, that's going to wrap things up here for this edition of the Prospect Profile of 21-year-old outfield prospect Joe Gray Jr. I've been your host, Jersey Born, and I am saying, Michi Darko's voice, forever.